I don't like the problem with race in this country. It's also not cool that white police officers want to condemn black people for some shit they didn't do yet. And they want to just assume that black people are guilty or any other race besides white. Can we talk about the white people that rob banks or do a lot of things they're not supposed to do? Or what about the white people that live in hoods that have guns and do illegal things that it doesn't look like they do anything to do to them? Because when I'm looking at polls and I'm looking at what happens with police, it seems like, do we get all the information correctly from what happens with white cops and black people? And why are they targeted? The people that made this law, the problem with all this in the Black Lives Matter protests is the only way to fix this is to get somebody to go over all this paperwork and change policies. It can't just be a word. And in order to fix police, you have to just get rid of the idea of what they're doing. You have to defund them. And by defund them, I don't mean get rid of them. I mean, why are you giving them all this money? What the hell do they need that for? Do they need all these weapons? Look what they do with weapons. Like, do they need all these big trucks for what? So they can go around town showing off their big trucks? Police officers are coming out of high school. They're not that smart. I'm sorry, bro, but what did you do? You were on a football team in high school that qualified you to have a gun and come at me and try to shoot me and kill me? Okay, no. How about no? They don't really have a lot of qualifications. Jumping through some hoop and taking some stupid test that you could lie on the pass. Because they're not that smart. And in certain areas in the United States of America, they're not that smart. The crazy things that they're saying, like that dude that lives in Texas, that's the governor, saying he's going to tax them. Well, F you. Police are getting all this money and they're doing all this stuff and it's wrong and no one's saying it. And Biden doesn't want to defund them and Harris doesn't want to defund them, and I'm not into politicians, okay? And I consider myself a progressive by all means. And you'll find me as independent, bro. Ski. But just saying. The only way to fix this is to get rid of all of it. Fire everybody. I'm talking about secretaries, DEA, judges from the bottom up. The entire justice system needs a do-over. Not, we're looking into this. How can you look at a crime scene and investigate a body or do an autopsy in the same place of the cop that killed the person? I wonder what you think's going to happen when they look at the details. I wonder. I wonder. And these are just things I'm wondering about. So then when they want to separate it and they want to do retraining, then you got to hear shit from the governors. Things aren't going to change in the United States of America. I don't have any faith in anything here. Which is why I'm independent. And which is why I don't have a side, Democratic or Republican, because I think they're the same. The Democrats just want to give everything and they want everything to be equal. Well, that's not going to work because the rich people are never going to agree to that shit. And even if you do make it possible, they're going to like break laws and shit for it not to happen. Do you know how much fraud there is with stocks and bonds and Fed fraud? And let's talk about how the feds just want to bankroll Wall Street forever. And the president wants to look at Wall Street and assume that the entire world is okay based off some fucking numbers on a screen. Great. Yeah, super. Yeah, everything's great here, Trump. Yeah, super. Because Wall Street said everything was okay. So the kids that are starving and the people that don't have any food in their fridge and they can't afford to pay their bills because they're getting like $200 a week because of the way they do unemployment from like 1970, cuts what they actually make and it cuts it into chunks. And it sucks. Yeah, making $200 a week is great, or $100 a week, or whatever. You couldn't just let people have $600 because you didn't want Americans to make $15 an hour. No, having Americans make a measly $15 an hour is too much work for you, while you make who knows how much money, and while you take money that could be used on something else and shove it into defense, and shove it into all these stupid wars, and all this crap. Why were we in a war at Iran or Iraq or whatever? Why do we keep going into other countries that we don't need to be in? Why? There's so many questions and there's not enough answers. But ask yourself that. Why is it okay for a white police officer to shoot a black person and they do an investigation, but if a black person shoots a white person, they automatically go to jail? I don't think there's justice here. I think it's bullshit. Just saying. There needs to be more protesters. They need to show up to all these politicians' houses, stand outside, and scream all day long. The president shouldn't sleep. Everybody should be raiding his Twitter. We should raid all their Twitters. This can't be real. We are the people. We, me, you, we, them, him, her, she, they. We are the people. They can't be in power if we don't want them to be. So get up, register to vote, get him out of here. Biden's not better, but he's not Trump, so I don't care. And Biden's really conservative and secretly far left. So really, Biden's not going to get rid of the police, and he's not going to do anything. He's lying. Okay? He doesn't like progressive. Nancy Pelosi doesn't like progressives. She's backing Kennedy because they're doing some secret oil deal. Oh, there's so much we could talk about, but I'm already at 7 minutes, so I'm going to get off of here. Politicians only care about ching ching. Not us. Ching chang. Not you. Ching chang. All they care about is money. The moment you realize that, you know it's not about justice and peace or any type of freedom. It's all a bunch of convoluted shit. And we need to change the policies and the foundation of this country. And the only way we can do that is by getting them out of office. Okay, these old people that are in office that don't understand what we're saying and what we want, they need to go. The culture that they're trying to build with this capitalistic country, how can capitalism work when there's no money for the economy? There's a cliff, and we're falling off it. And nobody's paying attention. But just let it happen. Tick tock, you're running out of time. I'll talk to you guys later. Happy Wednesday, and thank you for watching. This was a video about racism. And no, if you are racist and you have a problem with black people, why don't you blame your great grandparents for bringing us over here on a boat and making us be slaves for no goddamn reason whatsoever. Because you're lazy and you didn't want to do anything. You didn't want to do the work, so you had to get slaves to do it. If you want to blame anybody for that, blame your ancestors. Don't blame us. And when you tell a person of another race to go back where they came from, we don't have that privilege because we all came from here. You kidnapped us and brought us here. There's nowhere for us to return to. Why don't you go back to where you came from? Yeah, how about that? How about that? And take that Jim Crow with you wherever you go. We're not falling for the act. No justice, no peace.